first chapter of microeconomics. We have seen the different concepts: consumers' behavior and demand. The very next chapter, we have learned the different definitions by Alfred Marshall, Adam Smith, and number of economists. In today, we are going to check producers' behavior. Look at in the very first chapter, when we have talked about behavior of a consumer. In this chapter, we are going to discuss the behavior of a producer. But before checking out the behavior of the producer, we have to take in account production and its cost. So in this lecture, we are going to study the concept of production and cost. The first of all, when we are talking about the behavior of a producer, one thing that is come in our mind is, what is this production? What is this production? So look at it. We are talking about the content of this chapter. The first content is all about definition and its type of production versus meaning, process of production, how the production is conducted, agents of production means what is there utilizes in the production, and isopons, it's similar as indifference curves, as we have seen in our first chapter, and last but not the least, cost. So let's see meaning of production. Look, production is the process. Look at the definition. Production is the process of combining various material inputs and immaterial inputs in order to make something for consumption. If you are considering this image, look at number of things has been applied in this image. The bulb shows idea, tool shows innovation and technology, pencil and hand shows the planning. So, number of things are input in the process of production. Look at the thing, production is process. It is not a task. It is not a task. It is the entire process. ये एक प्रक्रिया है. ये कैसी प्रक्रिया है? Combining various material inputs, not a single material or a single commodity, various material inputs and immaterial inputs also, that is plants, techniques, etc. For what? In order to make something for the consumption. In order to make something for what? Consumption. यानी final goods या finished goods जो हम यूटिलाइज करते हैं, वो कैसे बनता है? तो वो एक पूरी प्रोसेस है प्रोडक्शन की. उस प्रोडक्शन की प्रोसेस से बनता है. आज के बाद प्रोडक्शन को लेके आपके दिमाग में जो भी पहले तो कुछ आइडियाज है, वो आइडियाज करेक्ट हो जाएंगे. अदरवाइज आपको प्रोडक्शन के बारे में कुछ भी पता नहीं है. ऑन माई सेल्फ आई कैन ट्रस्ट कि मैं आपको अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन कर सकूंगा कि प्रोडक्शन किस तरीके से होता है. दूसरे पार्ट में अगर देखें तो इट इज द एक्ट ऑफ क्रिएटिंग एन आउटपुट, अ गुड और सर्विसेज व्हिच हैव वैल्यू एंड कंट्रीब्यूट्स यूटिलिटी ऑफ इंडिविजुअल. ये भी एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है. only we are creating things. In the first part of definition of the production, or say first definition, we can understand that production is a process which utilizes material and immaterial as input section and make them output as a final goods or consumable goods. But when we are talking about the consumption level can only be satisfied with the utilization. So here it is the act of creating an output, that is what, good or services which has a value, which have what, value. Now what is this value? Value means character. Value means character. Value and price both are the different things. Price is a monetary consideration of the goods. Price is a purchasing power of a goods, while value is the character, or we can say quality of the goods, which can give utility to the individual. We have seen the concept of utilities in the earlier chapter. So here I am not going to discuss the concept of the utility. If you have any doubt on the concept of utility, you can check out the previous lectures what we have. So this is called production. Now one thing we have to clarify here, that production is what? Production is the process. Sorry, production is what? Process. So we have to understand what kind of process the production is. So for this we have to going on the next slide. So we are moving on the next slide. That is production as a process. Look at here. Input, processing and output. Let's see it. Input of raw material. Look at it. Whenever we are talking about the production, the first thing we have in our mind is imagination of factories, industrial units. Isn't it? Am I right? Yes, of course. जब भी हम प्रोडक्शन की बात करते हैं तो हमारे दिमाग में इंडस्ट्रियल यूनिट आता है, और ये इंडस्ट्रियल यूनिट बेसिकली क्या वर्क करते हैं? इनपुट ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल. क्या करते हैं? इनपुट ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल. Which kind of raw material? That particular raw material suitable to the production of the entire unit. Means if I am talking about a company which manufactures jeans or say shirts, the company wants to purchase raw material which is suitable to textile industries like cotton, jute, muslin, etc., etc. Even today, some of the acrylic material also available in the market for production of the textile industry. But whatsoever, this industrial unit needs some of raw material. This is only physical material. This is only what? Physical material. On this physical material, the entire units going for processing. Going for what? Processing. Now what is this processing? तो जब भी कोई raw material हमारे पास आता है, just for an example, when you are getting admission in 11th standard from 10th standard, you are raw material for us. अब हमारे लिए क्या है? Raw material है. हम 2 साल आपके पीछे मेहनत करेंगे, एक प्रोसेस चलेगी, different kind of subject you are going to study, and then you will be furnished as a student of 12th standard after your board examination. So एक प्रोसेस है. उसी तरह इंडस्ट्रीज में जब भी कोई रॉ मटेरियल आता है तो वो एक प्रोसेस के तहत, यानी कुछ इनोवेशन या टेक्नोलॉजीज इंप्लीमेंट होगी, मशीनरी और टूल्स की हेल्प से ह्यूमन एफर्ट्स मैनेजमेंट में लगेंगे, ह्यूमन एफर्ट्स प्रोडक्शन में लगेंगे, ह्यूमन एफर्ट्स सेल्स में लगेंगे, और इन सब के ऊपर एक मैनेजर उनको मैनेजेस करेगा और ये एक एंटायर प्रोसेस से फाइनल गुड्स यानी कि फाइनल आउटपुट कंजप्शन के लिए बाहर निकलेगा। यानी सबसे पहले प्रोडक्शन की प्रोसेस स्टार्ट कहां से होगी? रॉ मटेरियल से। फिर इस रॉ मटेरियल के साथ आप क्या करोगे? प्रोसेस करोगे। आप क्या करोगे? प्रोसेस करोगे। प्रोसेस में क्या क्या यूज होगा? ह्यूमंस यूज होंगे, मशीन्स यूज होगा और उसके बाद आप क्या करोगे? फाइनल आउटपुट मार्केट में सेलिंग के लिए, सप्लाई के लिए रखोगे। तो ये आपकी एंटायर प्रोसेस ऑफ प्रोडक्शन है। अब जब हम एंटायर प्रोसेस ऑफ प्रोडक्शन देखते हैं तो यहां पे हमारे पास रॉ मटेरियल आता है। क्या आता है? मटेरियल, यानी ये हमारे पास कुछ गुड्स आता है। जब हम प्रोसेसिंग की बात करते हैं, किसकी बात करते हैं? प्रोसेसिंग की। तो यहां पे प्रोसेसिंग के लिए मशीन्स और मैन दोनों का यूज होता है। यानी जब हम प्रोडक्शन की बात करते हैं तो सिर्फ गुड्स से यानी रॉ मटेरियल से प्रोडक्शन नहीं होगा, या तो सिर्फ ह्यूमन से प्रोडक्शन नहीं होगा, या तो सिर्फ कैपिटल से प्रोडक्शन नहीं होगा। देखिए नए वर्ड आए, मटेरियल, ह्यूमन, कैपिटल, डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ टर्मिनोलॉजीज। तो ये जो इनपुट फैक्टर है या ये जो प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट्स है, ये प्रोडक्शन के लिए किसका इस्तेमाल करते हैं? तो इसके लिए हमारे पास आंसर है, ये प्रोडक्शन के लिए एजेंट्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन का यूज करते हैं। किसका यूज करते हैं? एजेंट्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन का यूज करते हैं। तो ये एजेंट्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन क्या है? आप तो बोल रहे थे कि सर प्रोडक्शन एक प्रोसेस है, आपने बोला कि इंडस्ट्रियल यूनिट। इंडस्ट्रियल यूनिट इज जस्ट अ प्लेस where production taking the places. Production is the process conducted by the different material and immaterials. हमने definition में देखा, and those particular material and immaterial things are known as what? Agents of production. देखते हैं agents of production क्या है? Here is our agents of production. मटेरियल कहां से मिलेगा? बारिश तो होगी नहीं मटेरियल की, कहां से मिलेगा? लैंड से मिलेगा। कहां से मिलेगा? मटेरियल लैंड से मिलेगा। कहां से मिलेगा? लैंड से। प्रोसेसिंग कौन करेगा? लेबर। मशीन कहां से आएगी? कैपिटल से आएगी। और इन तीनों को मैनेज कौन करेगा? मैनेजर यानी एंटरप्रेन्योर करेगा। यानी प्रोडक्शन करने के लिए जो इनपुट मटेरियल लगेगा, whatever we want to produce, we want some of input material, whether they are physical or imphysical, they are called as an input or input of the production, and those input can be divided in 4 categories, that is land, labor, capital and entrepreneur. Look at here, the factors of production are resources that are the building blocks of the economy. They are what people use to produce goods and services. ये जो factors of production है, it is called an infrastructure or a building block of economy, because इन्हीं को इस्तेमाल करके producers अपना प्रोडक्शन मार्केट में लाएंगे। Economists divide the factors of production into 4 categories: land, labor, capital and entrepreneur. These are your 4 agents of production. Where land means what? So in the very first chapter we have seen the brief meaning of land, that land means natural resources available for the production. In the first chapter we have discussed, even today we are going to discuss that land doesn't mean the upper surface of the earth. ये पृथ्वी का जो अपर पार्ट है, हम जिसको इस्तेमाल करते हैं घर बनाने के लिए या बड़े बड़े ग्राउंड्स, सिर्फ उसी को हम लैंड नहीं कहेंगे. When we are talking about the economics, land has a very wide meaning. Each and everything which is gifted by the nature towards the human being is understandable as a land in economics, whether they are mountain, whether they are rivers, whether sunlight or whether air or whether water, whatever the things which is available on this planet for the material consumption for human being is understandable as a land. Means all of those resources for the production is known as what? Land. Second, labor means we, the human being, which have mental or physical action. When we are talking about some of the mental labors like charters and lawyers, and when we are talking about physical labors who are performing acts like workmen and foremen, carpenters or etc., human beings are understandable as a labor. Capital. Goods used in the supply of other products, example technology, or we can say machinery, we can say instruments. For constructing building, we need concrete, we need reinforcement, we need steel. These all are things as a capital. These all things are calculated as a what? Capital. And we all know the meaning of capital very well. If you are a commerce student, you have a better idea about the capital. And last but not the least, who controls all of these things, who manages all of these things, knowing as what? Enterprises. Means entrepreneur, what we call managers, what we call entrepreneurs, what we call business tycoons, or what we call investors category. They are controlling all of these three. So this is the combination of factors of production which generates the production by the process of raw material with the help of technology and innovations. By process of particular technology, they are converting raw material into finished good, and final output comes into the picture. In the very next session, we are going to discuss about isopods, and along with isopods, we are going further for the cost, different kind of cost, and how they are appear in the economics. Thank you very much.